Hello everybody, welcome to this video on medical conditions that reduce or eliminate your life insurance options. I want to start by saying that if there's something that I mentioned that eliminates you as an option, don't fret, because later on in the video I'm going to talk about some solutions that there are, even if you get declined for all life insurance options. There are options. It's important that you know what they are. So I will get into that. Now, firstly, with term life insurance, and again, these are going to be life insurance policies that they have an end date. And when you get to that end date, it will either stop or a lot of them will let you continue, renew past that end date, but the cost will increase at that point. Now, term life insurance, they tend to be higher premium, not higher premium, higher coverage amount policies, meaning the payout to your loved ones will be larger. But they do have that downside of expiring. And that's why they call it a term. It's a period of time that it's locked into. Now, term life insurance policies, because the coverage amounts tend to be larger, they also are going to crack down quite a bit more on health conditions. So these term policies, they tend to have a limit of 3 or less prescription medicines. They also decline for many health conditions, a lot of which are common. Even minor medical conditions where they will decline for term, whereas whole life insurance is more lenient and they would say that it might be okay for a whole life policy. Now, for these terms, I'll give you some examples of some common medical diagnoses where you'd get an approval still. So again, 3 or less prescription medicines. Most medicines are going to be okay. However, there's a long list of prescription medicines that would be a decline. Now, for the medical diagnoses, for example, blood pressure, cholesterol, as long as it's relatively minor and it's going to be 2 or less prescription medicines, you're going to be fine on those. Diabetes, 2 or less pills, no insulin, that tends to be okay. However, if you have any complications from diabetes, such as neuropathy, nephropathy, that's going to be declined. Now, whole life insurance is, like I said, a lot more lenient as far as what they're going to approve with medical conditions. So here are some examples. Now, first of all, whole life, it tends to be anywhere from perfect health all the way to moderate health. In some cases, you will get approval for more severe conditions, but not many of those will be approved. So here are some specifics. Any number of prescription medicines is fine. There's no elimination based on a cumulative quantity. Also, some of the instant declines, here are some conditions that would give you an instant decline on whole life. Memory-related prescription medicines, anything that even insinuates Alzheimer's or dementia, other memory issue, memory-boosting prescription medicines, those are going to get you into trouble as far as these policies go. Also, congestive heart failure. If you have daytime breathing oxygen, that's prescription, that can be a real problem. A lot of them are going to do an instant decline for those. Also, if you use a wheelchair, and sometimes if you use a scooter, although there's some gray area there, and there are some companies that will approve for scooters but decline for wheelchairs. Also, if you have or you've had diabetes and any kind of amputation, that's a decline, that combination. Any active cancer within the last 2 years, reoccurring cancer of the same type. So if you have breast cancer and then breast cancer again, colon cancer and then colon cancer again, that's going to be an automatic decline regardless of when it occurred, even if it was 20 years ago. The exception to that is squamous is fine, basal is fine. Those are considered by most life insurance companies to be extremely minor, in and out, and they don't worry about that. However, melanoma is more serious, so ask your agent about that. Also, organ transplants, that tends to be an automatic decline. Now, if you do not have U.S. citizenship, most of these companies will decline that as well. So ask your agent if there's some kind of workaround for that, if there's some way to still get you insured. But in most cases, you do have to be a United States citizen in order to get approved for life insurance coverage. Now, the most lenient A-rated whole life insurance companies that we're currently working with, and these are some of the best we could get our hands on. Royal Neighbors of America. They are one of the largest, I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm reading it right from the source. They're one of the largest women-led life insurers in the United States. And they're good. I've worked with them extensively. We work with them extensively, and they treat clients exceptionally well. They're very fast growing. Their clients tend to be very happy with them. Another one is Forrester's Financial, and their rating is through the roof. They are a phenomenal company. Again, very lenient as far as their underwriting. A+ rating with Better Business Bureau, and the third-party companies that their job is to rate life insurance companies give A ratings, which is phenomenal. So a lot of companies do fail that, and they get B and C ratings, and you don't want to work with those companies. Now, Americo, they've been in business for over 100 years. They're an A-rated company. They're phenomenal. Not only do they have very lenient and reasonable whole life insurance policies, but one of their whole life insurance policies will actually help out smokers who are quitting. And it's one of the few programs out there where it's regular whole life insurance and you get a non-smoker rate as a smoker. It's a really phenomenal thing. So if this is you, give us a call because it can save you 20 to 40%. I've even seen it save 50% on your life insurance cost if you're a smoker and get that non-smoker rate. It's also a huge incentive program because they give you 3 years to quit, and they start that non-smoker rate today, regardless of what's going on. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, if you have more severe medical conditions, there are still options. I mentioned earlier in this video that if anything that I've said would get you an automatic decline, don't fret. If you're between the ages of 50 and 80, then you got a safety net that can guarantee you. It's called the Guaranteed Issue Life Insurance Policy. Before I get more into that, I want to give some more examples of severe conditions that can get you policies with Mutual of Omaha. They're a phenomenal A-rated company, been around in business a long time. They're well financially backed, which gets you better pricing. And they've got a graded life insurance program. It's whole life insurance, it's graded. Ask your agent if you have questions about what that means. But if you have angina, kidney disease, semi-recent heart surgery, can be major surgery, quadruple bypass, etc. MS, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, if you've had a recent strokes, even yesterday, had a stroke yesterday, kidney disease, all of these, which I'm seeing more and more as I'm talking with clients, you can get a graded life insurance policy with Mutual of Omaha. It's a phenomenal thing. If you can go graded, it's better to go graded than it is to go with a guaranteed issue. Now, guaranteed issue life insurance still is whole life insurance. The only downside of this is the first 2 years of having this coverage in place, it is a reduction of payout to your loved ones if death occurs within the first 2 years. You can get the specifics from your agent. Every provider is a little different. Now there's a company called Gerber, same company as Gerber Baby Food, but their life insurance is amazing. If you're looking for a guaranteed product, their price is incredible. No one can touch them. And if you are looking for adult or child life insurance, they've got great programs too. But for this video, I want to highlight their guaranteed issue. The pricing is amazing. The program is amazing. Good, solid company. And if you get declined for anything I've mentioned here or anything I haven't mentioned, you end up getting declined and your agent says there's nothing I can do for you and your age is 50 through 80, you can get guaranteed issue life insurance through Gerber. No questions asked. It's just all they want to know is what's your gender and what's your age. As long as you're 50 through 80, you can get a guaranteed issue life insurance policy. Once you get to that 2-year mark, it's 100% whole life coverage until you die, as long as you make your premiums, of course, then you're covered. So I hope this has been helpful. These are a lot of the questions that I see surface on a regular basis, especially with things going on right now with coronavirus. There are just a lot of questions that are surfacing. So please reach out to us. We'd love to help you, love to get to know you, and stay safe out there. Good luck.